Good evening, folks. It's Final Flash 50, and before we continue the Sonic series, we're actually going to start up another game series real quick, the Kirby series. Yeah, Kirby's Dreamland 2 was actually my first video game ever, and so by nature, to start the video game series, we're going to start with the first one, Kirby's Dreamland. So let's get this shit started before the title screen runs out of Kirby's. First level, Green Greens. So who is Kirby? He's this little pink marshmallow, well, he's white in this game, but he's this little pink guy who can walk, he can fly, and he looks like a Pokemon. Yeah, his power is to, you just saw it, he sucks enemies up, and yeah, he can spit them out at other enemies too. Can you do something else with them? Yes, you can. If you suck them up and press down, he just swallows them all together. So yeah, it's your basic video game. You just, get through the level, kill the enemies, and it's really not hard. There's also health power-ups like your regular video game, Haven't been hit yet, so they didn't do anything, but yeah, there's plenty of those in the game. So yeah, Kirby certainly earns more abilities as the series goes. Lots more abilities, actually. But none of that is actually in this game. There are a few things that he can do in this game, but they are very limited. Yeah, Kirby often likes to ride his star across the skies of Dreamland, especially on adventures. So this guy's a mini-boss, and this will also be a recurring thing for the Kirby series. They're not that... Oh good, I'm glad he did this for the playthrough. That thing where he jumps across there, he doesn't always do it. Sometimes he throws 3 bombs and you kill him before he even has a chance to attack you. It's kind of foolish. So yeah, there's really no abilities for Kirby to copy in this game. You literally just have to keep eating enemies and spitting them out at people. Just keep whooping their asses all day long. It's pretty satisfying, surprisingly. You can just... It's really easy not to be hit. You just eat them and then kill the next guy with them. You can do this shit all day long. Never gets old. Booyah. So this is a really short game. It's the first game in the series and it's for the Game Boy. I think it was actually one of the early Game Boy releases too, so there's not much to show. It's a one-sitting playthrough. There's no saving. It's kind of like Sonic 1, but it's even shorter than that. Another way to kill enemies, by the way, is if you're flying, when Kirby is done flying, he spits out a boxing fist of air. That's actually pretty cool, and that bops him out, that kills him. You can see here I was poking around for a few, looking for secrets that I might have forgotten about. I don't actually find any because there aren't any at this part. I was pretty sure there wasn't, I just wanted to check, but I don't blame myself for looking because there are actually a lot of secrets in this game. There's a lot of hidden things. Alright, you ready to meet the first boss? This is Wispy Woods. And just get used to seeing him because he returns so much in the Kirby series, specifically as the first boss too. But yeah, he's really not hard. He does the same boxing fist thing that Kirby can do, but he also drops a few apples on you. Yeah, just take him and throw him at him. So Kirby grabs his star and then shows off his ability to clone himself. He has a multi-form ability of some sort. I'm not sure how it works, but he always does it. He loves that trick. Casololololo for the second level of the game. That sounds like the Trololo song. So, one thing I have to talk about here. This is a game for the Game Boy, not the Game Boy Color, but as a kid I was playing it on the Game Boy Color. As a result of that, I actually discovered a very interesting trick the Game Boy Color can do. If you, while you're turning the Game Boy on, press a button combination, while you're in the load up screen for the Game Boy, you can switch the color palette of the game. And there's a lot of different combinations you can do too. So for this playthrough, there it is. So let's move on. So I said there's limited abilities in this game, and I was right. This is the microphone power. You scream into a microphone, kill every enemy on the screen. And that is a one-time use. One thing about this color palette that I'm using, it turns Kirby black. It reverses the black and white basically. So anything dark looks bright, anything bright looks dark. And this is actually a legit palette that the Game Boy Color used if you put in the right button combination. Yeah, I had to use an emulator to recreate it to the best of my memory. This room I'm in, by the way, repeats forever. Yeah, it caught me off guard a few times in my childhood, I imagine. But yeah, there's 2 doors in it. The one at the top actually leads you to further in the level than the bottom one, but the one at the bottom is the path that I actually like to take better. And yeah, that repeats forever. As a little kid, I don't know why, but I could never comprehend that it's possible for them to program an infinite loop. I was sitting there thinking to myself, trying to find the end of this room, like, there's no way they could have made a room this long, even if it's the same thing the whole time. They don't have enough time in one lifetime to program it to be that long. I don't know why, I just couldn't comprehend an infinite loop. I mean, I was really young playing this game. So, right up here, Kirby finds the lollipop, and that will be the invincibility power-up for the Kirby series. The lollipop works like cocaine for Kirby. I mean, at this part, you have to jump a few times to even use the invincibility, so that's kind of pointless, but in other games, he makes better use of it, so that's cool. Back to the castle. So this is actually the guy that the castle's named after, actually. His name is Lololo. Yep, that's his name. He only takes 3 hits. He's another mini-boss just like that guy in the first level, and he's easier than shit. So one thing I always loved to do as a kid, at the top of this pyramid here, that question block pops out a maximum tomato if you bump into it, and I would just love to break these blocks out in this exact order right here to make my way to the top, for no reason at all. It was just a little kid having fun. I'll see you fellas in a second. So remember I was talking about how Kirby has a few powers in this game, they're all just really limited? Well, this is one of them. I would just love to line these guys up and just take them out one by one. Yeah, this power, Kirby basically has this thing that he can fire. You know, it's really simple. You just press the attack button and he shoots. It only lasts for a little bit though. You don't get to hold on to it. Alright, they got a bunch of doors set up. Let's figure this shit out. So, where to go? Door number 1. Yeah, this is not the way to go. Whoa, yikes. Okay. Next door, let's give this one a shot. And this is not the way to go either. Of course, it's the door at the top. Let's move on. Let's go. So we're going closer and closer to the top of the castle, it looks like. And there we find our friend from earlier in the level, Lololo. And he's actually back with his friend this time, La La La. That's what his friend's name is. So yeah, they're coming at you with the same attack he did it the first time. And the room is a little bit more closed off this time, so I don't know. It's kind of more challenging, but it's still really easy. One of them dies eventually when there's like 2 or 3 health left. I think it can vary, actually. But you just steal their box from him and shoot it back at him, and, you know, it's a very simple boss. What can I say? It looks like your castle needs a new leader, Lololo. Your days of running this shit are over. Alright, Kirby grabs his star again, and for the second world, we'll get a new dance. Yeah, he'll have a new dance for us each time we beat a world. Okay, so it's time to start the water level of the game, level 3, and I don't know about you, but I think this is a very unfitting color palette for a water level. I think it's time for a change. There we go, now we're talking. That looks like a water level. We'll tackle the water level in the next part. See you then.